Okay, so the next topic is about the theories of inflation. Okay, so the different economists have their own different theories on inflation. So the economists who have provided the theories of inflation are classified into two. So they are called as monetarists and structuralists. So monetarists associated inflation to the monetary causes and suggested that monetary measures controls inflation. While on the other hand, the structuralists believe that the inflation occurs because of the unbalanced economic system, and they used both monetary and fiscal measures for sorting out economic problems. Okay, so for the theories of inflation, we will be discussing these three the different theories. We have the market power theory, conventional demand pool inflation, and the structural theories of inflation. Okay, for the market power theory of inflation, so here, in an economy, when a single or a group of sellers together decide a new price that is different from that of the competitive price, then this price is termed as market power. Okay, so this is decided, okay, by the single or group of sellers together. So such groups keep the prices at the level at which they can earn the maximum profit without any concern for the purchasing power of consumers. So they don't consider whether the consumers are able to afford, okay, in such level of price. So according to the advanced version of market power theory, uh, in terms or in the case of oligopolists, so they can increase the price to any level even if the demand does not rise. Okay, so this is normally where market power theory is applicable. So this hike in price level occurs due to the increase in wages because of the request of the trade unions. Trade unions are associations of the group of employees. Okay, so they may demand higher salary. Okay, so normally this is in the case of oligopolistic industry. So the increase in wages is compensated with the hike in price. So this is actually the same as what we have mentioned before in the causes of inflation built in. Okay, or it can also be in the cost push effect. Okay, because of the hike in or increase in wages. So it forced also to increase the prices of the products. So with the increase in the income of the individuals, their purchasing powers will also increase, which further results in inflation as mentioned. Okay, so the next theory is conventional demand pool inflation. So in this type or in this theory, the market power theory of inflation represents one extreme and of inflation. According to this theory, inflation exists even when there is no excess in demand. So, on the other hand, or in the other end, conventional. Okay, those are the first. This one is the first theory that we've mentioned. What about for the conventional demand? Conventional demand pool theorists believe that the only cause of inflation is excess of aggregate demand over aggregate supply without the concern of the level of income or money in the economy. So in full employment equilibrium condition, when demand increases, inflation becomes unavoidable. Okay, because it has the effect of increasing the price. So in addition, in full employment condition, the economy reaches to its maximum production capacity. So therefore, at this point, the supply of goods and services cannot be increased because it is already operating at full capacity. Okay. Further, okay, while the demand of products and services are rapidly increasing still. So due to this imbalance between the demand and supply, inflation takes place. Okay, for the third theory, this is structuralist theories of inflation. So apart from the two extreme ends mentioned in the first two, there are middle group of economists. So this they are called structural economists. So here they are considering both monetary and um, the structural form of economy that one has. So, according to the structural theory of inflation, market power is one of the factors that can be considered to cause inflation, but it is not the only factor. Okay, so the supporters of this theory believe that the inflation arises due to structural maladjustment in the country or some of the institutional features of the business environment. So financial and non-financial aspects are being considered. So under the structural theories of inflation, they have two different types of theories. They have the markup theory and the bottleneck inflation. So when I say markup theory, this is actually proposed by Professor Gardner Ackley. Okay, so according to him, inflation cannot occur alone by demand and cost factors. It is the cumulative effect of demand pull and cost push. Okay, so if you could still remember in our previous video lecture. So here, the demand pull refers to the inflation that occurs because of excessive demand, which results into increase in price level. So the increase in price level will stimulate production, but the increase in demand for factors of production. Okay, so consequently, the cost and prices of both will increase. So in some cases, the wages also increase without the rise in the demand. So this will again result in fall of supply at increased level of prices to compensate the increase in the wages with that of the price of the product. So the shortage of products in the market will result further in the increase again of the prices. Okay, on the other hand, goods are sold to business instead of customers. So the cost of production in this case will increase because it will add value for those transfer. So as a result, the prices of products also will increase. So a rise in wages result in the rise in cost of production, which would also increase the prices of products. So according to Prof. Gardner, inflation occurs due to excess of demand or increase in wage rates. So therefore, both monetary and fiscal policy should be used to determine and control inflation. So although these two policies are not adequate normally to control the inflation itself. Okay, for the bottleneck inflation, so this was introduced by Prof. Otto Eckstein. So according to him, the direct relationship between wages and prices of products is the main cause of the inflation. But this is actually part also of the theory on markup theory. But in this case, he only focused on the wages and prices as the cause of inflation. So in other words, inflation takes place when there is a simultaneous increase for wages and prices of products. However, he believed that push or market power theories alone are not able to provide a clear explanation of inflation in the economy. So after analysis of the situation, so he says that inflation occurs due to the boom in capital goods and wage spiral or wage price spiral or change. So in addition, he also advocated that during inflation, prices in every industry is higher, but uh, few industries show a very high price hike than the rest of the industry. So these industries which has higher prices is termed as the bottleneck industries. So they are responsible for the increase in prices of the goods and services. So in addition, he also advocated that concentration of demand for products of bottle industries will definitely result to inflation. Okay, so those are the different theories of inflation.